Today on Fast Food Face Off, we're doing the Taco Bell Veggie Menu. Let's crush some calories.
Fast food, face off! Fast food, face off! Fast food, face off!
Welcome back, Tasty Vibe Tribe. Today, we're doing Taco Bell's Veggie Menu in its entirety in honor of them bringing back the potatoes to their menu items. Let's see how they stack up. So, we demanded, Taco Bell heard us, they finally brought back the potatoes to their menu. I'm a huge fan of all the things that Taco Bell has on their menu, but I was a really big fan of the cheesy Fiesta potatoes and was super bummed out when they weren't on the menu anymore. So, to commemorate that, we're just doing the Taco Bell Veggie Menu. I've had a few of the items on this, but not all of them, and I've definitely not had them kind of vegified with like the black beans. The only thing that I'm missing from here is the party platter. The reason why is because it really just ends up being a ton of the tortilla chips and not enough of the actual toppings. Pro tip, I've had their nachos before. I would just get one of their protein bowls or their veggie bowls and I would toss it on top of the nachos just so that it's a good ratio of chips to filling. Enough of that, let's just get into it. I'm gonna start with the new menu item, which is their Quesalupa. I've never had this, and I got the veggie version, which is basically the same as every other version, except they swap out the protein for black beans. Let's see how it tastes. What is up, Tasty Vibe Tribe, and welcome to our very veggie-friendly episode of Fast Food Face Off. There's a lot of good textures going on in there. Kind of the outer, chewier shell, and then you get kind of like that crispy, cheesy goodness on the inside, and then the normal kind of deluxe style fillings that Taco Bell puts in their veggie items. This is really nice. It kind of reminds me of a little bit chewier version of like a cheesy gordita crunch. I'll let you guys get a closer look. I think if I were to get this one again, I would probably get the nacho cheese sauce or their guacamole to round out the overall flavor. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely a fan of fire sauce for my tacos. Let me know down in the comments section what your favorite flavor of Taco Bell hot sauce is. I was gonna say the one thing that this seemed like it was missing was some sort of a sauce, but honestly, after having it with the fire sauce, I really don't genuinely think it needs much more than that. If I was going to order this again, I would just make sure that I got a couple of extra sauce packets because it is a little bit bigger than like a cheesy gordita crunch or a regular taco. Next up, I'm gonna try the cheesy Fiesta potatoes. This was pretty much a go-to for me when I was a more frequent flyer of Taco Bell. I can remember a lot of late nights where I would get this and something like a cheesy bean and rice burrito, and then I've always been a huge fan of the cheesy gordita crunch. Hopefully this is still as good as I remember. Something about just the perfect combination of the nacho cheese sauce, the slightly crisp, well-seasoned potatoes, and just that dollop of sour cream. I know for some people it's a little much, sometimes you do without the sour cream, but I'm a fan of the way that it pairs well with this. If I remember correctly, I think even once upon a time, they might have put like green onion on top of this as like garnish, but I didn't mind it when they first had it. Next up, I think I'm gonna move on to the spicy potato taco. I'm probably not saying that right. This is another menu item that they brought back again because of the potatoes. I haven't had this one, but it seems pretty straightforward. Let's see how it tastes. The sauce that they put in there is perfect. It's just enough to make the taco more than just a soft taco with potato. But that stuff is great. Whatever it is, I would order it on the side just for this taco. I'm gonna move on to the black bean chalupa. I'm a huge fan of their chalupas. My brother was a big fan of the Baja chicken chalupa and then kind of got me onto it. I haven't had one in a while and I'm curious to see how the black beans kind of play into the texture of the chalupa shell. Because of founder Glenn Bell spending much of his childhood helping his aunt run her bakery, Taco Bell became the first fast food chain to hire women managers to run their stores. For anybody who hasn't had stuff from their veggie menu, the black beans are very well seasoned and they stand up as like a protein substitute very well with what Taco Bell offers. If I were a vegetarian, I would be getting this all the time because it's hearty enough because it's a bean, it's got fiber, It's got protein, and then this is just perfectly seasoned to be able to complement all the other flavors that Taco Bell has. Really tasty. Black beans are a great source of fiber, protein, and folate with a lower glycemic index compared to other high carbohydrate foods. I'd be curious to know what other sauces Taco Bell has are considered vegetarian, because something like this with like a cheesy gordita crunch sauce, that Baja sauce, or even that spicy one from the potato taco, I feel like would make this even better. I'm just gonna do the cheesy roll up next and then probably move into the cheese quesadilla as well. I got the Mountain Dew Baja Blast because there's no way I'm going to Taco Bell and not getting this, but they have a zero sugar option, which I wasn't aware of. This is really tasty. For anybody who's had like diet soda and is familiar with the fact that most of them have like a bit of an aftertaste, this has a little bit of that, but honestly that Baja Blast flavor is just so strong and pertinent inside of this that you don't notice it as much. So good. I'd say if you got one of these with maybe like a side of their black beans and rice, it's a nice little snack in between meals. Next up is just their plain cheese quesadilla. If I were to get this again, now that I'm thinking about it, I would probably try to see if I can maybe do this with like black beans or like black beans and rice. I feel like that's a way of kind of still keeping it vegetarian, but maybe making it a little bit more filling than just a plain cheese quesadilla. There's like that sauce that they put inside of their quesadillas that kind of makes it slightly different from just the cheese roll up. And it seems like it would be something simple, but it makes it so that you can easily discern the difference between a quesadilla and a roll up. And I definitely prefer the quesadilla. Apparently the sauce on their quesadillas is called creamy jalapeno sauce, and I want to put that stuff on everything. I don't know why Taco Bell doesn't have like maybe like a side salad option that would go better with some of these things or like their value menu items, because if you had something like this with maybe just a side salad that has like the beans and like the sour cream, or the beans and like the guac and the salsa, it's pretty much a meal in itself. I haven't really ever had the Diablo sauce, so I'm curious to see how it tastes. It's like the right amount of heat for Taco Bell. There's a way of doing heat, especially in the fast food world, that's still spicy but flavorful. That Diablo sauce is really nice. I wish they would bring back the verde sauce. Other than the fire sauce, I think that was probably my favorite. So I'm gonna do one of the burritos because I have a few of them. There's a bean burrito, a cheesy bean and rice burrito, and then a quesarito. I'm pretty sure that this is the quesarito because it just looks like it's bigger, but the bean burrito and the cheesy bean and rice burrito are pretty close. I'm not gonna know until I bite into it. It's almost like a mystery burrito. Idea for a new TikTok game. Go to Taco Bell and order their burritos and play burrito roulette with your friends. First person on the toilet loses. So this is definitely the quesarito. You can always tell when Taco Bell is getting inventive with certain things because they try wrapping things in different things. It's basically like Taco Bell's go-to. It's like, what haven't we done? Well, we haven't taken this and wrapped it in something else. I always think that it's fun, like the idea of wrapping something in like a quesadilla or adding a chalupa shell or a different flavor taco shell. I'm always here for what Taco Bell is doing, and this is no exception. I can't be the only person. I know that it's gonna sound like hilarious, but when I go and I bite like the little corner pieces off of these sauces and I put them in, I can definitely think of a few nights where I was at a drive-through or in the parking lot of a Taco Bell and have accidentally swallowed the edge of this sauce packet. I can't be the only person that's happened to. Let me know down in the comment section if you've ever done that, or just any other like weird things that have happened to you in the parking lot of a fast food place. Look at all that cheese. I'm gonna do the Power Bowl. I've had this before from there. I've just never had the vegetarian version of it. Don't be scared of the black beans. I honestly am here for it. I think that the black beans was a great choice by Taco Bell, as opposed to just putting refried beans in everything, because to me, refried beans is a very specific texture and flavor, and sometimes it's just not really appropriate for maybe like fresher menu items. They also put guacamole in this, which is nice. It's appreciated. It adds, I think, a little bit of extra creaminess, and then obviously extra guac is always appreciated. Of all the menu items that Taco Bell has experimented with over the years, I'm surprised that they haven't done a Mexican-style street corn. I feel like that would pair perfectly with this bowl. So I forgot that there's actually like seasoned rice at the bottom of this too. This makes this a full-on meal. If you were to have this with just the veggies, don't feel like you're gonna be missing out or you're gonna be hungry after having this. This is definitely a hearty bowl. You know what might actually make this pretty good is to take like a Doritos Locos taco shell, just the shell, and kind of crush it up on top of it and make it almost like a Mexican salad or a Mexican taco salad. I think that would be really tasty. It took Taco Bell food scientists 2 years and over 40 recipes to perfect the Doritos Locos tacos. This is also one of like the healthier low-calorie options that Taco Bell has. Some of these things may look healthy, but they are deceptively high in sodium. Taco Bell's pretty good on their app about letting you know what has high sodium. I do believe that this is one of those items that, because it has, you know, the fiber and the veggies, that you're pretty safe here. But just be mindful of that if you're having the burritos and you're kind of trying to watch what you eat. I'm gonna go with another burrito. Again, I'm not positive of what it is. I'll let you guys know once I take a bite into it. Cheesy bean and rice burrito. Obviously because of the rice, but I can always tell by the sauce too. There's like a special sauce in this. Black bean Crunchwrap Supreme. Been forever since I've had one of these things. I remember when they first came out and it was like a big deal because it was just, you know, a first new Taco Bell menu item in a while. Hopefully this is as good as I remember it being. I've never had the black bean version of it, so let's see how this stacks up. After making its debut in January 2006, the Crunchwrap Supreme is one of Taco Bell's most popular items to date. I would say that this one is a little lackluster. It ends up being just a little too thin. There's more tortilla and shell than there really is filling because it's pretty much just black bean, lettuce, and then I think sour cream, maybe another sauce in there. I think this lends itself more to something like the meat fillings, just because it kind of makes it a little bit more heartier and it balances out tortilla to meat ratio or filling ratio. So I ordered the nachos with cheese just because it was an item for the veggie menu. I'm actually not really a big fan of the tortilla chips from Taco Bell. I don't know how you guys are, but I just feel like they're drastically under-seasoned. The actual taste and flavor of them is pretty good as far as like corn tortilla chips are concerned. For a company that doesn't seem like they're overly too mindful or cautious about the sodium content of their food, these definitely could have used a little bit more salt. I might have one or two, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to eat these. I just really wanted the extra side of nacho sauce, and I think I'm gonna just use it for the Crunchwrap. Get ready for an incoming gratuitous cheese close-up. That's the stuff. Almost has like a cheese whiz quality in like a really good way. Last up, as far as the savory foods are concerned, is the bean burrito. This is a classic for a reason. It's pretty straightforward. Let's see how this one tastes. I think that what makes this burrito as good as it is and why it stands the test of time is that sauce that they put with the beans. It really makes it pop. Before I finish this up, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn those notifications on. If you enjoy the content, smash that like button. Head on over to our Instagram. We're always doing super fun stuff over there that you guys would be missing out on if you weren't following us on Instagram. Let's finish this up. So we have the Cinnabon Delights from Taco Bell. These are supposed to be kind of like little mini bite-sized fried dough things. Let's see how this tastes. Yeah, so this is good. This is like just like a little mini fried donut kind of thing. And it has like a nice subtle cream cheese filling on the inside. I wouldn't have been mad at maybe like caramel drizzle on top of this. To be honest, I feel like for all of their desserts, caramel would be like a nice sauce to accompany them, but I'm not mad at this. It's really tasty. And then last, but certainly not least, is their cinnamon twist, which I think is supposed to be kind of like a take on like a churro. Let's see how these stack up. So this is really nice. I would say of the two, it depends just on what it is that you're gonna like after having like a meal from Taco Bell. And I would sooner think that most people would like something a little light, sweet, and crunchy than those dough balls. The only one thing is I wish that they would bring back the caramel apple empanadas. It was one of my all-time favorite desserts from any fast food establishment, and I have no idea why they stopped making it. It was really good.
Someone definitely needs to start a petition to bring this menu item back to Taco Bell. I would definitely sign.
I think these would be nice. They came with maybe like a variety of dipping sauces, like caramel or a dulce de leche, and then maybe like chocolate or just like a plain sweet glaze. I think that it would complement these really nicely. Adding a dipping sauce is never going to be a bad thing when it comes to something that's already good on its own.
I tried to come up with a veggie pun, but they all came out corny. But time for the final review.
Final review time. So my favorite out of everything that I had here was probably the Quesarito or the spicy potato taco. Those things were delicious. The spicy potato taco, one, is inexpensive, very tasty. That sauce is great. I feel like you could probably put that on anything and it would make it better at Taco Bell. And the overall texture was straight into the point. The Quesarito, in my opinion, is better than the Quesalupa. I like the extra cheesiness that I'm getting from the Quesarito as opposed to the texture profile of the Quesalupa, which is what I think people like the most about it. Everything else, honestly, if you're a Taco Bell fan, you're not going to really go wrong with anything that I had. If you're a Crunchwrap fan, I would probably do something like add some extra sauce, or like I had the nacho cheese on the side. I think that'll kind of punch up the black bean Crunchwrap, because as it stands, it's just not the right balance of filling to external textures. That being said, I think as far as the desserts, you're not gonna go wrong with any of those. Please, Taco Bell, if you're listening, I don't know if you are, bring back the caramel empanada. I wish that people would have as much angst towards the potatoes that were taken off the menu as the caramel apple empanada, because I'm a dessert person, so not having something like that on the menu just seems like a really big loss. And if you're a fan of Baja Blast like I am, that Zero Baja Blast is absolutely amazing. So if you're looking to be able to kind of maybe watch some of the calories that you're having at Taco Bell, I think for the medium, it's only about 10 to 15 calories. Speaking of calories, we're gonna have the cost and the calories here for you guys. Anybody who's ever eaten a Taco Bell knows that their cost is pretty cheap. It's gonna range on these because the nature of some of them being more filled or less filled, but the cost was pretty cheap, and calorically a lot of this stuff wasn't that bad. I would just say again that if you're gonna order some of this stuff and you're using the app, just be mindful of the sodium content for some of these items. That wraps it up for us here at Fast Food Face Off. So remember, you are what you eat. Always eat amazing.